All right, welcome back. Let's continue that conversation now on the logjam now over the national minimum wage. I'm being joined on the program right now by Emmanuel Jaja, who is the first vice president of the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria. Mr. Jaja, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Well, we have a stalemate, if you like, and I'm just wondering. The president is saying an agreement has been reached, and of course, your union members have come out. I mean, your union leadership now have come out to say, look, there's been no agreement, and that it must be 250,000 naira or nothing. I'm just wondering, how can this be resolved? How can this stalemate be resolved?
Thank you very much for having me. Well, we have two labor centers, the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, and the Nigerian Labour Congress, which is NLC. These two labor centers are involved in this negotiation with the tripartite government. The governors are there, the government is there, the employers are there, and the labor is there. So since January 30th that this committee was formed, unfortunately, I repeat, unfortunately, even up to this moment, we've not been able to get to somewhere, which is very bad. However, we've been hearing a series of news, 120, 105, 95, 65, this, but all those things are rumors going on. Unfortunately, also, the negotiation came up when the ILO, International Labour Organization, where all the international labor centers from all over the world are meeting at Geneva, Switzerland, for a conference. So the labor centers in Nigeria is not exceptional, which is our labor center, the TUC labor leader and NLC labor leader. At the moment as I'm talking to you, they are in Geneva discussing. So for now, it seems that we have relaxed a little bit till they come back from Geneva. And when they come back, we start from where we'll stop.
But why would it be difficult? Why are you not able to understand? Let me just put it that way, for lack of a better way to express this now. Why are you finding it difficult to see reason with the government? That look, it will be difficult for them to actually meet. When I say the government now, I'm not just talking about the federal government. I'm also talking about the state governments. That it will be difficult for them to actually meet that demand of 250,000 naira.
Well, that's how these things work. Can I give you a proverb before I start? In my local language, there's a proverb we say that it's easier to tell a blind man that there is no oil in the soup than to tell a blind man that there's no salt. Because when the blind man tastes the soup, if there's salt, you feel the taste. Am I correct?
Very correct.
So this is the thing. From all the way from federal government to state government, whatever reasons they are giving or whatever they are saying, we have listened to this. I said it over and over again, and I'm saying it again. The labor has itemized where we're requesting for XYZ. I want the government to tell us what they want to give, comparing where we are coming from. It's easier said than done than to say we want to pay 1,000, we want to pay 5,000. Now, what the government has decided or what they are planning to do is to put labor in a situation whereby an ordinary man in the street will look at labor as if we are not reasonable. Labor is 100% reasonable. And I've said it before, if I am an employee of a federal government or state government, there are about 10, 15 people at my back waiting for this my salary. My brother, let me tell you the gospel truth. From the federal to state, any of them that tell you they cannot pay this money, they are deceiving you. It's not true. They can pay this money.
What about
they can pay this money.
What about the private sector? I mean, what about those who are running businesses? You think that they can pay the money as well?
Well, it depending on the private sector. You know, private sector too. That's why, because the way things are working here, we are not, doing it the proper way it's supposed to do. The private sector, when you talk about the private sector, there are some companies in private sector that are in a high level. And there are also some people in the private sector that in a low level. For instance, myself, as a person, I have 2 or 3 of my staff as a private man. Do you understand? Now, how much do I pay my security man? How much do I pay my gardener? How much do I pay? So these are the things we are talking about. But the issue is, we are not even talking about this money. We look at this paying money, paying this. We want government to do something that will benefit ordinary man. Now, today, dollar is about 1.5 or 1.4 or whatever. Is it how we'll continue? Sometimes people will say, what does dollar get to do with Gary? What does dollar get to do with granite? The person that is frying Gary, he will buy SIM card. Do we produce SIM card? The answer is no. He will buy telephone. Do we produce telephone? The answer is no. So if you gather all these things in compass, you see that an ordinary man in the street is suffering. So we are not even, if the government can bring the dollar rate to a barest minimum that we can cope, take care of its workers, federal government workers will go to state take care of their workers, will go to local government workers take care of their staff, you provide accommodation for them, provide transport for them, whatever. What are we looking for 60,000 for? What are we looking for? The issue is they must do something. But unfortunately, I said unfortunately, from the National Assembly, House of Rep, Senate, these people we are talking, the way we are talking from this from this level, it's not the way we are talking. Me and you is here in this country where we are discussing about issue of buying one SUV at 160. Before we realize it has come to pass. How many people that the SUV in a country of 220 or 230 million, they bought it and they're using it. Even some of them who have extra cash, they have to buy it. They have to take it. You see how we continue? If the government, you see, let me tell you, my brother, the problem we are having, let this government, from the presidency to the state, to the governor, to the local government, let them reduce their means of livelihood. If they reduce it to barest minimum, it will cascade down to where we are. And we take it off from there.
What would be your reaction to those who say, look, paying, for instance, what you are asking for, the unions now, could lead to, a worse inflation situation in this country?
Inflation?
Yes.
Well, we've been having inflation over the years. This is not the first time. If you check Nigerian history, inflation has come and gone. But the issue is, the administrators of this country should come down and sit down and discuss the issues, discuss the nitty-gritty. Like I said, they are making labor to look like as if we don't know what we are doing. See, can I shock you? Labor of today is not labor of that 2030 or 2020 or whatever. Labor of today, we are grounded. We know what is happening. If a government or a governor can collect XYZ as a salary, collect XYZ as an allowance, and when it comes to the one that affects an ordinary man, that gets to do with his family, his acquaintances or whatever, if it is where we are having problem, I don't think I don't think we are getting it right. We should find way to get it right. And like I said before, I am repeating it again. Labor is the only mouthpiece of an ordinary man in the state. Now we have celebrated 1 year of independence.
All right. Let me just quickly ask you this: Are we likely to see another strike if this stalemate continues?
You are asking if we are likely to see another strike. Good question. Well, at the moment, we're suspending the strike temporarily because some of our principals that are involved in these discussions, they are now in Geneva, in Switzerland. They are attending the ILO, International Labour Organization, worldwide. And to the best of my knowledge, issue of Nigerian labor and the issue of this minimum wage, the tripartite committee comprises of the governor, comprises of the labor, comprises of the employers, or whatever. It has been forwarded to the president. By extension, the president will forward to the National Assembly. So when they come back, we are waiting to hear what will happen. If the government is ready for us to continue from there, fair enough. But if they are not ready, we'll also go back to re-strategize and see where we take it from there.
Let me ask you a final question, Mr. Jaja. Is the last time you went on strike, you shut down the nation's airport. You shut the gates now to the terminals. Is there no other way to do this without, for instance, grounding flight operations or shutting the gates to the airport?
My brother, shutting the airport or shutting the gate, you would think is something impossible. You are asking if there is no other way. You know, you and I know, this country we are, if you do not show sign, especially in your own constituency, nothing will happen. It is not our intention. And I tell you, I repeat it again, nobody is happy. Because when you shut down the airport, an ordinary man who is not even a labor man, that is going for his business in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in wherever, you have shut him down, he can't travel. Then even including the government, so it's not a good one. Let me tell you, labor of today is a responsible labor. If you allow me to say, we will never agitate for us to shut down anywhere. Because
another thing.
Hold on. Just give me a minute.
Okay, go on.
Whether you shut down airports, whether you shut down Abuja, you shut down Lagos. What is the summary? The summary we still come back to the table. Am I correct? To start discussing. So why must we shut down? That means something is wrong somewhere. So those people that are involved, they should make sure that we should not shut down. Because the very moment we shut down, the labor will lose, the government will lose, the employers will lose, individual will lose, everybody. Is that what we should be doing in this
because
country?
the last strike you went on, the whole idea of shutting down, for instance, the national grid, I'm just wondering if that was a wise one, and couldn't there have been other way? I mean, why shut down the national grid and throw the entire country into darkness and cost people
that question should go to the government
and cost people and businesses to lose so much?
That question should go to the government. Why must the government allow us to shut down? That question should go to the government. Wouldn't it have been better for us to be on the table and discussing? That question should go to the government. You think labor is happy? Okay, when they shut down the national grid, do I have light in my house? The answer is no. I don't have light. Every other person don't have light. But can I shock you? The people that are involved in this business, was there shut down in the National Assembly? Was there shutdown in the presidency?
But that is the point. So at the end of the day, it's the common man that you say you're fighting for that ends up suffering. You know, especially when you shut down something like the national grid. It's a common man that suffers the most.
That is why the common man have to come up or come out to join this issue. It's not that Labour want to go for strike. It's not that Labour want to shut down the economy. That is why the common man have to come out and join this struggle. This is a struggle. This thing that is happening in Nigeria, it cannot happen across the road here. I'm just talking about Cotonou here. Talking about South Africa, it cannot happen. But it's just because we are here and it's free for all. What we run here is Banana Republic. Everybody does what he or she likes. The government should by now be knowing that yes, they have people that they can attend to. But if the government decide to not to take care of their citizens, what do? But unfortunately also, Nigerians are, God will solve the problem. We will look unto God. That's where we find ourselves in this mess.
All right. I know human beings will solve our problems. We will all solve our problems. I mean, it's good that, you know, we're talking. I mean, it's good that all the sides are talking. Let's just hope there's a quick resolution to this. Mr. Emmanuel Jaja, the first Vice President of the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on the program.
First Deputy President.
First Deputy, yes.
First Deputy President.
Okay, First Deputy President. Thank you very much. All right, that's how much we can take on the program this week. We thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.